Hey, it's Carolyn Brown here. I'm the founder of Interview IQ. Now, I often get asked by people, how do I connect with people that I don't know on LinkedIn? How do I connect and ask about a career? How do I connect and ask about a career change? How do I connect and ask about a potential job opportunity? Well, if that's you, you're in luck, because I'm going to give you my 4-step formula that's been proven to work hundreds of times with my clients. Now, using this formula, you won't get a 100% success rate. That would be absolutely crazy. But my clients get between a 40 to 60% success rate when they use this method. So it's yes to a meeting, yes to a phone call, yes to a Zoom meeting. So listen up, because I know that you'll find this video insanely useful. So how do you reach out to people cold on LinkedIn? Well, first of all, I'm going to show you what not to do, because if you do what I'm about to show you, the thing that will happen is you'll be ignored. This is an example of a message that I would typically get on LinkedIn that I would just ignore. And the reason should be obvious, but I will go through it. A, it would have taken them 12 seconds, if that, to find out that my name's Carolyn. B, if they looked at my company, they would have figured out that I'm not a large business and it's not likely that I'm going to be looking for a cybersecurity expert. And they're asking me to check their profile. They're asking me to do the work to make some guesses about them or what they could offer me. I don't really want to do that. When you write these kinds of messages, you've got to remember that you're coming into my space. You don't want me to do any work at all apart from make a quick decision about whether to say yes or no to what you're actually asking me. So how do you get people to actually respond to you on LinkedIn? This formula comes straight from my Straight to Shortlist challenge. Now, the challenge helps you stop waiting for recruiters, almost the most frustrating thing in your job search. It helps you tap into the hidden job market and get 5 meetings in 5 weeks. I will put a link in the description below. So here's the formula. Well, the first thing that you want to do is make it about them. Make them feel like you've reached out personally to them by telling them how you found them. The second thing that you want to do is to make a genuine connection. So if there's something within their profile, if there's something that they've written, if there's something that they've posted or liked that you really relate to, tell them that. Tell them how you've connected to that bit of information that they've put out there. The third thing is to just give a little brief introduction about yourself, no more than 2 lines, and it just needs to be the bits about yourself that are relevant to the conversation that you want to have with them. And the fourth thing is to tell them what you want from that email. As I said, I've used this formula time and time again on LinkedIn, and it works between 40 to 60% of the time. Sometimes people are too busy, sometimes you've missed the mark, sometimes they can't understand what it is that you'd want from them, they don't see the value of networking, but generally this approach gets between 40 to 60% response rate. So now I'm going to give you an example, and it's a real life example that comes from one of my clients, Claire. Claire wants to change her career, or Claire wanted to change her career from being in finance to working within the mental health industry, either as a counsellor or a psychologist. She was thinking about doing some additional training. So she went searching on LinkedIn for people that had a background where it looked like they could offer her some real insight into the career move that she wanted to make. So Claire found Jane on LinkedIn. Now, Jane is a counsellor working at the Rochester Wellness Centre. So here's how Claire implemented my formula. So step number 1 is to make them feel like you've picked them out personally. So how Claire did this was she said, I came across your profile while researching the Rochester Wellness Centre. So Jane instantly feels like she's been selected specifically or personally, that Claire has actually gone out of her way to find her. Step number 2, show how you connect with them. What Claire said was, I ended up reading your articles about the stigma associated with anxiety. I instantly related to what you said. Like you, I've battled with anxiety since my teens and only this year realised what it was. I love the fact that you're prepared to openly come out and write about your struggles with mental health. So she's showing that she really connects and relates to what Jane says. And again, Jane knows that she's been picked out personally. Step number 3, introduce yourself briefly, but only include what they need to know to understand why you would be reaching out or asking a question. Remember, you don't need to include paragraphs and paragraphs on this, only the relevant bits. So what Claire said was, I'm really passionate about mental health. I want to make a career change to help others who go through the same things I have, hence why I was looking into Rochester Wellness Centre. And a little bit of humour. Anyway, I'll refrain from writing an essay and boring you to tears. Step number 4 is tell them what you want from them. It makes it easy for them to say yes. So it's your call to action. So Claire's call to action is, I was hoping I could meet or talk with you briefly. I'd love to chat to you about how you came to start your career. And then she included another little compliment at the end because people respond to people who like them. And what Claire said was, I love the fact that you're a strong woman, brave enough to come out and say she's not perfect. You sound like the sort of person I'd like to know. So that's a 4-step formula. So what happened from here is that Jane answered the email and Claire made a wonderful new connection and started a fabulous conversation. So I really hope you found this video useful. If you like what you've heard, please give us a thumbs up. If you like what you've heard and you want to hear more of us or see more of us, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.